Eckhart Tolle said that in any given moment you have three ways of dealing it. You can remove yourself from the moment if you're having a bad time. You can change the moment if you're having a bad time, or accept it and know this too shall pass. I like this idea, but Eckhart Tolle is quite an enlightened being, and he's all about being present to his moments. And I just think sometimes the rest of us just pick up our phone and escape that way. And for a lot of us, just picking up our phone is a habit. I know I didn't have a phone for 2 weeks just recently, and it was really interesting that I just didn't look online, and I started thinking different thoughts, and I felt less anxious. And now I'm back to being online, and I'm now filling in all these videos because I'm trying to talk through all my ideas in order to understand where I'm going. And I feel quite anxious. Like if I share them, I shared one on Twitter the other night, and then I was like, has anyone liked it? Has anyone clicked through? And I said to my husband, can you just like hide my phone for an hour while I watch telly? It's quite sad because it's like the rat interval training thing that you don't know when you're going to be rewarded, and those likes and those hearts do light up our reward centre in our brain. And no wonder we're addicted. So back to it though, because the phone, we're wandering about with it in our pockets all the time, and then we want to, if some moment is special, we want to lift it up and capture it. And that got me thinking, are we actually still experiencing the experience if we're actually looking through our phone and not at the thing? And then are we actually, afterwards when we curate these moments, are we actually, do we change our experience because we're now experiencing it in the past? It's like, what's he called, Proust in his À la recherche de temps perdu. He eats his madeleine and he's actually gone back to the past, but he's in the present moment, experience the past moment. And that's when time becomes a little bit fluid, doesn't it? I met up with an old school friend. Honestly, it felt like I was in the present, but then it felt like time had just fallen away, all those years had fallen away, because we are still the same, but we've changed with our grey hair. It's quite fascinating. And if we're not experiencing a moment, if it's, sometimes moments are too painful for us to experience there and then. I remember when my daughter was born, she was ill, it was life and death for a good year, and I kept a blog because it was the only way I could communicate with people. And you forget your memory, you move on, you forget, your life tidies it up, your mind tidies it up. Thank God, because we can't go around with that amount of aching all the time. And I rarely read it, it's online for other people. And I rarely read it because the last time I read it I was like, I don't remember that. And it takes you right back to that moment. In the same way as Proust eating his madeleine, you get taken back to good moments and bad moments, and you just like, and it's a good job our memory tidies things up. And that's the thing that kind of fascinates me. If we are there in our lives with access to every last moment we've ever lived, would we go a little bit mad? And because our brain, what happens, I've been doing a bit of reading about it, when we have painful experiences, we ruminate a lot on them because our brain doesn't want to experience them again, so it's looking for ways to move on and not and to avoid that for the future. Whereas good experiences, we don't ever ruminate on that, and it's in a lot of meditation and anxiety cure techniques are to actually ruminate on your good experiences, which is harder to do, isn't it? It's amazing because when our brain loves to fix things as well and find solutions, and there's nothing to fix there. And so when we pick up our phone and we go online and we look through our Twitter feed, and when people are shouting all the way through about the latest political event or the latest disappointment or the worries that we have over the NHS, you kind of go like, the whole thing makes me anxious. And we do alter our chemical state. We can go and look at a YouTube video and laugh, but how often do we do that? How often are we just sucked into other people's dramas online, other people's responses? And it's very difficult to set your own agenda, particularly if you begin your day picking up your phone, checking your email, going online. It's very difficult to get back on your own agenda after that. And so what is the solution? I think the solution is to actually fill your life with your own agenda, with your own head, and with your own thoughts. Although the advantages to being online is absolutely lovely, I do think it is a technology that can expand us, it can augment us, but we just, like everything else in life, too much of a good thing can be bad for us. Social media is like chocolate cake. 1 or 2 slices, nice. Any more than that, start to feel a bit sick.